She thought the guards were props for her photo, until their march taught her the price of disrespect. Deborah Whitmore believed the royal guards were just a quaint tourist spectacle, until she stood in their path smirking, convinced they'd detour around her. But when the guards marched forward without hesitation, she learned a harsh lesson. Tradition and discipline don't yield to entitlement. Here's what unfolded. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Subscribe to the channel and join us tomorrow at the same time for another stunning display of Royal Guard valor you won't want to miss. The crisp April morning of 2025 casts a golden hue over Buckingham Palace, its ancient cobblestones echoing with the chatter of tourists gathered for the changing of the guard. The sharp click of designer heels announces Deborah Whitmore's arrival before she appears at the eastern gate. Her platinum blonde hair swept into a flawless updo, and her tailored athleisure ensemble, complete with a diamond-encrusted fitness tracker, mark her as someone who considers herself far above the crowd. "Excuse me," she snaps, elbowing past a retired couple who had waited hours for their spot, their camera trembling in their hands. Some of us have actual schedules to keep. Her oversized designer tote nearly clips a young girl who ducks behind her father with a startled gasp. A palace attendant, his uniform pristine, steps forward with a polite smile. "The queue begins back there, ma'am." He gestures to the orderly line of visitors stretching along the palace railings. Deborah's manicured hand slices through the air, dismissing him mid-sentence. "Do you even know who I am?" Her voice carries the sharp edge of someone accustomed to getting her way. "I'm not waiting in line like some nobody. I have a reservation at Claridge's in 45 minutes. The attendant's composure doesn't waver. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but for security reasons, all visitors must—" "Security reasons?" Deborah's laugh cuts through the morning air, drawing curious glances from the crowd. "For what?" "Those overdressed mannequins." She waves a dismissive hand toward the palace gates, where the guards stand in their scarlet tunics and towering bearskin caps. "This whole circus is just a tourist gimmick. I'm here for a quick photo, and then I'm gone." A family from New Zealand, their children buzzing with excitement, tries to slip past her, pointing eagerly at the guards in the distance. Deborah plants herself squarely in their path, her voice icy. "I'm not done here," she declares, as if the courtyard were her personal runway. "Please, ma'am," the father begins. "The kids have been waiting all morning." "They can wait longer," Deborah retorts, her tone dripping with disdain. "Honestly, people these days have no sense of priority." The irony hangs heavy in the air, unnoticed by her alone. In the distance, the first strains of martial music signal the start of the changing of the guard. But Deborah Whitmore has already decided that centuries-old tradition will bend to her whims, a decision that will soon prove costly. As the ceremonial music swells, tourists adjust their positions, cameras poised to capture the time-honored ritual. Deborah, however, remains rooted in her spot, now directly in the path of the guard's impending march. She adjusts her designer sunglasses, oblivious to the growing unease around her, and pulls out her phone, angling for the perfect shot. "This'll look stunning on my feed," she mutters to herself, forgetting her earlier claim of being above social media. A retired serviceman, his blazer adorned with faded campaign medals, steps forward, his voice calm but firm. "Ma'am, you'll need to move. The guards will be coming through here soon." Deborah rolls her eyes, her sunglasses glinting in the morning light. "Oh, please, they can walk around me. I'm not moving until I get my shot." She snaps a few selfies, her phone held high as the crowd shifts nervously. The veteran's weathered face hardens, his medals catching the sunlight as he speaks. "These aren't performers, ma'am. They're active-duty soldiers, following orders. Their route isn't negotiable." "Orders?" Deborah's laugh is sharp, making a nearby toddler flinch. "To parade around in those silly hats? To stand there like statues?" "Spare me." She gestures dismissively at his medals. "I bet you used to play dress-up too, didn't you?" A murmur of disapproval ripples through the crowd. The veteran's companion, another former serviceman with a silver crew cut, places a hand on his shoulder. "Leave it, Tom," he says quietly. "Some lessons are best learned the hard way." In the distance, the rhythmic thud of boots on stone grows louder as the guards approach, their scarlet tunics a vivid contrast against the palace's grey facade. Leading the formation is guard Thomas Carver, 29, his posture impeccable, his gaze fixed forward with the intensity of a soldier who has seen combat. 2 tours in the Middle East, a commendation for bravery under fire. Most tourists instinctively step back, sensing the weight of his presence, but Deborah remains oblivious, her phone still raised, her smirk unwavering. A palace security officer, his uniform crisp, steps forward, his voice urgent. Last warning, clear the path immediately. The guards will not stop or deviate from their route. For heaven's sake, Deborah snaps, her tone rising, drawing more eyes. This is a public space. I pay taxes. Well, my husband does, and I can stand wherever I please. She turns to the crowd, as if expecting applause. What are they going to do? March right through me? They're just guards at a tourist trap. The marching grows closer, the drums echoing with precision. A mother with 2 children, their eyes wide with excitement, pleads softly, "Please, you're going to get hurt." They can't stop or change course. Deborah's response is to plant her feet more firmly, her phone raised higher. Then they'd better learn how to treat a paying customer. I'm not moving for anyone in a costume, no matter how fancy their hats are. The crowd pulls back, leaving Deborah isolated in the guard's path. The veteran shakes his head, his expression grim. He's seen this before. Entitlement meeting unyielding authority, and he knows how it ends. Guard Carver's unit rounds the corner, their formation a seamless display of discipline. Their scarlet tunics and bearskin caps, a symbol of centuries-old tradition. Carver's eyes, trained by years of service, register the obstruction. But his step doesn't falter, his duty clear. "This is your final warning?" the security officer shouts, his voice tinged with urgency. "Clear the path, or you'll be forcibly removed." "Try it," Deborah shoots back, her stance defiant, her phone still raised. "I'd love to see you explain that to my lawyer." She smirks, watching the approaching guards through her screen. "Time to learn some customer service," she calls out, her voice dripping with condescension. "You lot work for the public, remember?" The rhythmic thunder of boots grows louder, the air vibrating with authority. "Make way for the Queen's Guard," a command rings out, sharp and unyielding. Still, Deborah stands her ground, her smirk unwavering, convinced the guards will detour around her. The collision, when it comes, is swift and precise. Guard Carver's shoulder, moving with the momentum of the formation, connects with Deborah, a controlled maneuver designed to clear the path. The impact sends her sprawling, her designer sunglasses flying in one direction, her phone skittering across the cobblestones in another. But the lesson isn't over. As the formation continues its march, Carver's polished boot lands squarely on Deborah's outstretched hand, the one she flung out to break her fall. The contact isn't malicious, merely inevitable, the result of an immovable force meeting an object that refused to yield. Deborah's scream pierces the air, a mix of pain and outrage. "You broke my hand," she shrieks, scrambling to her knees, cradling her injured hand. "Did everyone see that? He assaulted me. That thug attacked me." The guards march on, their formation unbroken, their discipline unshaken. Carver's eyes remain fixed forward, his bearing as perfect as if nothing had happened. The only sign of the incident a faint scuff on his boot. "How dare you!" Deborah struggles to her feet, her designer outfit now streaked with dirt, her platinum hair disheveled. "Stop right now, I'm talking to you." Her voice rises to a shriek as the guards continue their march, ignoring her completely. "Do you know who my husband is? I'll have your job for this." The veteran who warned her steps forward, offering a steady hand, which she slaps away. "Don't touch me. I want the police. I want names. I want badges." Her face flushes a deep red, matching the guards' tunics. "That man attacked me. He used excessive force. I could have been killed." The security officer approaches, his tone neutral despite her defiance. "Ma'am, you were warned multiple times to clear the path. The Queen's Guard are authorized to remove obstacles in their route." "Obstacles?" Deborah's voice reaches a new pitch of indignation. "I'm a tax-paying citizen. That man," she points at Carver's retreating back, "assaulted me. He stomped on my hand. I demand he be arrested." A small crowd gathers, but their expressions aren't sympathetic. Several tourists, phones in hand, shake their heads, having recorded the entire incident. The veteran stands nearby, his face a mask of quiet resignation, unsurprised by the outcome. The guards reach their post, executing a flawless turn, Carver now standing at attention, his dedication unshaken by the chaos behind him.
Two police officers arrive, their expressions weary, suggesting they've handled similar situations before. The female officer, PC Emily Harper, steps forward, notebook in hand. "Ma'am, I'm PC Harper. Can you lower your voice and explain what happened?" "What happened?" Deborah's laugh is near hysterical. "I'll tell you what happened. Your precious guard attacked an innocent woman. He body slammed me to the ground and stomped on my hand. I want him arrested now." The male officer, PC Daniel Brooks, speaks with witnesses, including the veteran and his companion, who provide calm, detailed accounts. Tourists share their videos, painting a clear picture of Deborah's refusal to move despite warnings. "Ma'am," PC Harper says, "multiple witnesses confirm you were warned at least 6 times to clear the path." "Clear the path?" Deborah spits, her voice venomous. "This isn't a military base, it's a tourist attraction. I paid to be here, and that man," another wild gesture toward Carver, "thinks he can assault me over some ridiculous tradition." She fumbles with her phone, her injured hand trembling. "I've got lawyers on speed dial. The best in London. When I'm done, that guard will be begging for a job at a car park." Her fingers fly across the screen, her voice rising. "And wait until the press hears about this. Guard attacks innocent tourist, that'll make a lovely headline." PC Brooks returns, his notepad filled. "Mrs. Whitmore, the guard's actions were within protocol for removing obstacles during ceremonial duties." "Obstacles?" Deborah's face flushes deeper. "I'm not an obstacle, I'm a paying visitor. Stop calling it ceremonial duties like it's a real job. They're glorified props in silly hats, pretending to be soldiers." "They are soldiers, ma'am," the veteran interjects, his voice steady. "Active duty military performing their assigned duties. The ceremony doesn't change that." "Did I ask you?" Deborah rounds on him. "Why don't you go play soldier with them since you're so obsessed with their little parade?" She turns back to the officers. "Are you arresting him or not?" The sharp sound of boots on stone announces the arrival of Guard Captain Edward Langley, 42, his polished brass insignia gleaming in the afternoon sun. His presence carries the authority of a career soldier, his gaze sweeping over the scene, Deborah's disheveled state, the officer's resigned expressions. "What seems to be the problem?" he asks, his voice quiet but commanding. Finally, someone in charge. Deborah thrusts herself forward, her injured hand cradled dramatically. "I demand the immediate arrest of Guard Thomas Carver for assault. He attacked me without provocation." Captain Langley cuts through her tirade with precision. "Mrs. Whitmore, I've been briefed. My guard acted within protocol when you refused to clear a designated military route after multiple warnings." "Protocol?" Deborah's voice rises again. "He body-checked me to the ground. He stomped on my hand. What kind of protocol is that?" Langley's face remains impassive. "The Queen's Guard are active-duty military operating under strict orders. They're authorized to remove obstacles using necessary force that's calculated and practiced extensively. Are you defending this?" Deborah's face contorts with rage. "Do you know who my husband is?" Your husband's identity is irrelevant," Langley interrupts, his tone suggesting he's heard such threats before. "What matters is your interference with a military unit performing its duties." PC Harper steps forward. "Captain, we've collected statements confirming Mrs. Whitmore ignored repeated warnings and positioned herself in the guard's path." "Of course they're backing each other up." Deborah's voice echoes off the palace walls. "This place is a boys' club with fancy uniforms. This isn't a military dictatorship. You can't assault civilians because they're in your precious path." Langley's response is measured, each word heavy with tradition. "Mrs. Whitmore, the Queen's Guard aren't a tourist attraction. They're combat-trained soldiers with vital security duties. Their ceremonial role doesn't diminish their authority." "Security duties?" Deborah's laugh is bitter. "I've seen better security at a shopping mall. At least they treat customers with respect." "This isn't a mall, ma'am," Langley says, his voice edged with steel. "This is a working royal residence and military installation. Guard Carver served 2 tours in Afghanistan before this post." "Spare me the war stories," Deborah snaps, waving her phone. "Wait until social media hears this. Combat soldier attacks defenseless woman. That'll look great, won't it?" Captain Langley clasps his hands behind his back, his posture impeccable. "Mrs. Whitmore, interfering with the Queen's Guard is a criminal offense under Section 28 of the Armed Forces Act." He turns to the officers. "PC Harper, PC Brooks, I trust this falls under your jurisdiction. You can't be serious." Deborah's voice falters, a flicker of doubt creeping in. "You're charging me after one of your toy soldiers attacked me?" Guard Carver executed his duty as trained, Langley says, unmoved. Your injuries are the result of your refusal to comply with lawful orders. Lawful orders? Deborah's face turns purple. I'm a civilian, you can't order me. This is assault, battery, false arrest. My husband's lawyers will Your lawyers will find every action was within the law, PC Harper cuts in smoothly. Now, shall we proceed to the station, or do I need to read you your rights? You can't ignore me. Deborah shrieks, looking around for support, but the crowd offers none. Tourists who recorded the incident watch in silence, some shaking their heads. I demand his full name, his service number, his commanding officer. Langley turns to the officers, dismissing her protests. I'll forward the security footage and duty logs. I trust you can handle this. This is outrageous. Deborah's voice cracks. You can't just. Right then, Mrs. Whitmore, PC Brooks interjects. You can come voluntarily to provide your statement, or we can arrest you for interfering with military personnel and disturbing the peace. Your choice. The veteran steps forward one last time. Ma'am, sometimes accepting responsibility is the better part of wisdom. Responsibility? Deborah clutches her bag like a lifeline. The only one responsible is that thug in red. She stops as PC Harper produces handcuffs. You wouldn't dare. Langley speaks once more, his voice a final note of authority. Mrs. Whitmore, your actions showed profound disrespect for the uniform and the principles it represents. These guards aren't actors, they're soldiers who've bled for their country, ready to defend it at a moment's notice. The ceremony you mock is built on centuries of sacrifice. I don't care about your ceremonies. Deborah's voice trembles with desperation. This is assault. My husband's lawyers will They'll find we followed the law, PC Harper says, motioning toward the police car. Let's go. Deborah is led away, still protesting about lawsuits and media revenge, her voice fading as the crowd disperses. Captain Langley addresses the remaining tourists, his voice clear. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Please remember, these ceremonies aren't performances. Every guard here has earned their position through years of service. They represent the finest traditions of the British military, and we expect visitors to respect their duty and authority. The two veterans exchange knowing looks. The older one touches his medals thoughtfully. Some people, he muses, never learn the difference between authority and amusement. His companion nods, watching Deborah's protests fade into the distance. Pride comes before a fall, he replies quietly, and some falls are harder than others. Guard Carver remains at his post, his bearing perfect, his discipline unshaken. The afternoon sun glints off his brass buttons and polished boots, the same boots that taught an entitled tourist a lesson she won't soon forget. The palace grounds return to normal, the ancient stones having witnessed yet another clash between arrogance and discipline, the outcome as inevitable as ever. What drives someone to think they're above tradition, above respect, above the institutions that have guarded our civilization for centuries? Perhaps it's the modern obsession with instant gratification, convincing some that their convenience outweighs centuries of protocol. Or maybe it's the belief that wealth and status place them beyond rules that apply to everyone else. But as we saw today, some lessons come at a steeper cost than designer clothes and legal fees. The Royal Guards aren't theme park entertainers or historical reenactors. They're highly trained soldiers carrying on a tradition of service that spans generations. Their discipline isn't for show and their authority isn't negotiable. Next time you visit Buckingham Palace or any historic institution, remember, respect isn't just about following rules, it's about recognizing that some things are bigger than our individual desires. The guard you see today might have served in conflict zones yesterday and could deploy tomorrow. The ceremony isn't just for tourists, it's a living link to centuries of sacrifice and duty. We want to hear from you. Have you ever seen someone mistake authority for entertainment, treating those in uniform as if they were there for amusement rather than duty? How would you have handled this situation if you were in the crowd? Share your thoughts in the comments, we read every one and love hearing your perspectives. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button to let us know you want more content like this. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new story. We bring you incredible tales of discipline, bravery, and the lessons behind these traditions every day. Turn on the notification bell to be the first to see our latest uploads and share this video with friends who might appreciate the deeper meaning behind these traditions. Your support helps us keep creating more content like this. If you can't get enough of these stories, check out our playlist on Royal Guard Encounters, link in the description below. Thank you for watching and being part of this amazing community. Your engagement, insights, and respect for these traditions mean everything. Until next time, remember, Respect isn't outdated, and some lessons are best learned through those who stand guard, not just over palaces, but over the principles that make civilization possible. See you in the next video.